Good afternoon, darlings. I have actually just tried to film, but I was using Zoom and then I got confused with my buttons, and so I'm starting again now. I am actually going to be doing a live, trying to do my first live yet again for Patreon on Friday, which will be a rundown for the month of March, but I wanted to come to you now because that gap proved to be as enormous as I said it was going to be. So I spoke to you a week ago, and when I spoke to you, I did also do a post for Patreon, which I shared with you on YouTube, and I said, mind the gap. This is the spring break gap. This is the most important time now before Saturn enters Pisces in mid-April, and then Saturn will be in the home of Jupiter. And we have just had, so the Ukraine war began 3 years ago, and for this passage, as Mercury is conjunct to Saturn, yesterday we have Macron and Trump, and we have these first, people are beginning to realize this is the Big Bang. So, it's not that this is the Big Bang, but this is that nuclear. I spoke to you about atomic Blondie. I showed you the video with its 25 units, 2025. And this is the 25th. On the 25th, this is the 7-7. It's the two legs. So we've actually got 225. So that's 9. We've got 9-9. We've got 225, 225, 9-9. And we have the main phrase of this conversation with Macron and Trump, which is, to be frank, I'll take you, we'll go there, but he uses FF. So we've got Anne, the diaries of Anne Frank, and he uses two important F words in the phrase. So those two F words is 6-6, and the date is 9-9. So it's the bullhorns. And this is your Mac Ron Donald had a farm officially, and the beginning of the Noahide Law. We've got 7 planets lined up in the sky. And when we had the Ukraine began 3 years previously, and we had the same, not quite the same, but almost Jupiter, Sun, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Moon. That was the date that it began. So we had Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn had been from 2020 COVID, and now Saturn is in this Yoni passage between the home of Saturn and the home of Jupiter. And at that time, it was all between the home of Jupiter, Sagittarius, and the home of Saturn. That is your yellow-black B. So it began there. And now Jupiter is taking over this Yoni passage, and before it was about that Yoni passage. So again, Mercury and Saturn were together. So for the eruption of the war we had, and then on the 1-3-3-1 we had Saturn and Mercury conjunct, Venus and Mars together, and Uranus was in Aries. So Uranus has, in those 3 years, 22, 23, 24, 25, he has done his passage under algol rhythms, and we have just had Roberta Flack, rhythm and blues, R&B is the red and the blue. There's your red and blue. Torso Field with the green line. That's why the green line was about, well, he was electrocuted in a chair, but, it's also the decapitation. This is your 5th element, Uranus, under the 3rd eye. So we've got, as I speak to you now, we've got Mercury on the 26th. So this is what my whole last video was. It was about this passage of Mercury moving from Aquarius, the true air, with the Sun, marking that spring break, the 16-2. 16 is B, 2 is B, 16 is P, it's your PB. PB is the yin-yang, it's the paddy bear. And we've got Jupiter now on Aldebaran, and for the beginning of the war, Jupiter was here, and now we've got Saturn and Jupiter making that L, that gap. And we've just, I'll show you when we get to it, but that French aeroplane that went missing, the Boeing 777, and now we've got the last leg. That was 11 years ago, and they brought it up in the newspapers today. As yesterday we had Ronald McDonald's and the 7 Noahide Laws. So the Ark of the Covenant has been made between the 7 planets that were here for the outbreak of the Ukraine. This is the Twin Peaks at the top. This is the new true spring equinox, Aquarius, and now the next 7 planet arc, which is happening between Aquarius to Mars on this summer solstice. So Mercury rules Gemini, and as Mercury enters Pisces as I speak, so Mercury at 8 o'clock tonight, so it's 10 o'clock, so as I speak right now, Mercury is still in Aquarius. So there's going to be a big change in energy as Mercury enters Pisces, the home of Jupiter, as Jupiter is on the Red Bull, this merging, this, if you look at Red Bull, it's the 2 bulls on either side of the yellow. So the Aleph Tav is from Aleph Aries to Tav Taurus. And now they want Jupiter owning the bullseye on both sides, keeping the material realm. This is all about Mercury and Jupiter, the rulers of the skull and bone mutable cross, taking onto this Lucifer sigil, this gap between full expansion to closure onto the fixed cross, where Venus now comes in because Venus rules Taurus and Jupiter rules Pisces. And Venus is about, on the 1st of the 3rd, for the 1st of March coming up, we're going to have the new moon on the 28th. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And then we've got Venus beginning her retrogrades. And she will be joined after 1 week on the 310. So again, it's the 3-1. 3-1, then Mercury. So 3-1-3-1 is Mary Magdalene, MM 1313, or 3-1-4-4, all for one and one for all. And guess what? D'Artagnan, My Little Village, which I keep telling you about, is in the process, and I have to go and vote, is between the 17th of February and the 8th of March. You can vote for Lupiac to be the #1 preferred village of the whole of France. The whole of France. This is it, marking D'Artagnan, Sagittarius, Jupiter in that northeast to southwest. So I live in the southwest, so from your angle that would look better. So I live in the southwest, and the northeast is where I used to live, and now I've come down to the southwest, which is the masculine axis, and this is where they're making this new vertical Ukraine, Putin horizon, and Trump is this silver gateway in the middle. Okay, so whilst I'm here, let's have a look at this new moon, because then we're going to go over posts. So right now, as I speak, we had yesterday Macron and Trump. We're going to go over and look at the posts. We had on the 25th, the moon and Pluto combust. Pluto and the moon combust, making a semi-square to Mercury and Saturn. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, giving that energy of Saturn in Aquarius, that electrical, nuclear energy of Mercury conjunct to Saturn, and Mars, the ruler of Uranus, still in Aries, finishing that 3-year journey where he was in Aries for the beginning of the Ukraine war. Then when Uranus was right under Algol 2 years ago was when we had in 2023 October the 7th, we had so that was 14 months ago. For, all for one and one for all, 14 pieces of Osiris were going into the Pisces, into the Chi Rho. CairOLine. Roberta Flack is born in North Carolina, and I said that Mars was she dies as Mars comes back to Sirius, North Carolina. Roberta, it's a boy's name. Cleopatra Flack. And I'm sure there's a lot more into what Flack means and etc. That you can go and look into. So Mars, the ruler of Uranus, as Uranus is still in Aries, and it's all about opening your third eye. So you've got people all over internet, people beginning to wake up. They're seeing that this is the Oppenheimer, this is the nuclear, this is, this is where all hell could break loose. So for this new moon that we're having, 26, 27, 28, so the moon is going to happen where I am, just on the cusp, just at the end of the 27th. It's really at that midnight, so Midnight Express. Sun and moon combust, and Mercury will be in Pisces, Venus will be in Pisces, and Jupiter, the ruler, in the home of Venus. And Uranus is still in Aries. Uranus enters Taurus. Literally on the 3-3. On the 33, so in the Sun video, of Uno, let's cut the sounds. Sun, so 666 Sun is the summer solstice. So we've always got, like I keep showing you in the Green Mile, we've got the Green Mile man, the black hole. So when that green line goes away, if the Queen's walking away in her green dress with Paddington Bear. Paddington Bear is the red-blue Russell Brand scandal came out when the Israel-Hamas war began. So it was just a scandal that rose just to bring into the subconscious red-blue. And if that red-blue and green become the black, and she is going to get sacrificed. Just like we've had a lot of the Virgin, so the time loops. Lupiac is about to get voted, the loop of the zodiac. So there is about to get voted. I'm gotta go and vote for him. So got red and white. Red and white, this is what we're going through. White, Pisces, red, Aquarius, air. And then there's some hole there. There's some hole. She gets thrown down the hole. Some sacrifice. Oh, that's horrible. You don't want to look. So we've got Callie. She's got the legs, the 777, and one leg on the ground. And then there's another thing that he shows at the end, which is this, which again, it's D-Day, the 6th of June is 6-6. and this news of Trump has come out on 9/9. So this is my father's birthday, and my mother was born on the 6th of July. So I always know JJ. JJ is 11 and 66. Yeah. Yeah, somebody walked by the house that my mother died in, the famous house in Addison Avenue in Holland Park, and it was number 11. So I was thinking Addison Avenue, that's AA, that's 11. So 1111. She sent me. She was walking all around Holland Park, all the properties of my mother. So when my mother died, the day after she died, after my mother had planned for 3 years of selling the house and then selling the house to my ex-husband, which she then paid him back through accounts to avoid death duties. And he, instead of saving that house for myself and the children as they had planned for 2-3 years, he immediately sold it within a week, and he bought a Ferrari, and that Ferrari went up in flames. So that entire heritage was lost. But I was thinking, what was the point of all that story? I was thinking just how there's something else about that story, but it was about the 1111 Addison Avenue. And that when I won't be able to show you a picture of the house because I put it into a reel. But the house has the little capstone at the top of it. My friend went in front of the house and took a picture of it and sent it to me. Quite a lot of synchronistic stuff going on. So what else is in this? Yeah, we've got the astronaut. So I'm going to be showing you Odyssey 2001. So yeah, 24 years since Odyssey. So that's Jupiter. 2442, and in that film Odyssey 2001, you've got the guy who says, "Hal, can you open the door?" It's Macron. It's a Macron lookalike. So we've got these astronaut sort suits which we've all been prepared for psychologically. So just how far is this all going to go? And we've got that hangman falling. But he's the right way up. And the lamp, PB. So this is the new moon coming up on the 28th. And as I have been saying to you, what is so important about this new moon is it's between the home of Jupiter and Saturn. It's in this passage. I'm telling you how important. About the passage. That's the dressage movement. The passage means you're not good, you're passage. And all the planets are in this area. And then we've got and Mars and Jupiter on the Silver Gate opposite this side here, which is the Golden Gate. So we've got, this is the line, and we've got this last passage of the North Node. The North Node will move into Aquarius. The South Node will move into Leo. So this is the whore of Babylon. This is Putin. And this is Ukraine. Putin, Ukraine. This is the line. And then over here, we've got America. So we've got Trump, old Ronald McDonald's, ending the feminine axis as the North Node moves from CV, coronavirus, Victoria, this passage, this last door of the mutable cross. And then we're going to have on the 8th of March, which is Woman's Day, my grandson's birthday, the 8th of March, that's 3 8s, which is 11. And we've had this voting which has gone on just of this period as the sun will move from Aquarius, but the sun will still be in Aquarius on March the 8th. The sun will still be in Aquarius. Let's 6, 7, 8. The sun moves on 311 into Pisces. So that is so important. This is the opposite axis to 911. This is 311. So it's all there. It's right there. 311, 911. We had 911, we had Fukushima, and now we're going to have the next big bang. So hold on to your horses. How is it going to be? Is it going to be, you know, this, I'm going to be doing my live for this new moon, and we will do as I do for my Patreon once a month, where I'm going to pull the 4 cards that will tell us, and I'm going to focus on, so far all my cards have been telling us exactly. So we've also got Uranus making a trine to Pluto, to the South Node. So the triple goddesses still very strong here. But this is that portal that's going to take us to the eclipse, the full blood eclipse on the 14th. So all for one and one for all, for the full lunar eclipse. We're going to have Sun and Saturn conjunct, Sun in Pisces, Venus and Mercury still retrogrades, and the Sun opposite Virgo on the South Node. So this portal, and it's the full bloods, so it's going to be very similar. It will be very similar because we're going to have the moon here and we're going to have the sun here. So it's going to be like a repeat on this portal of this new moon. But this time, so the sun will have gone from Aquarius into Pisces. And this is when Jupiter has won his period from COVID to now. Okay, so we're going to go and look over my post now. So that was interesting. Uno put that up. Out of the blue, Delta Toronto plane crash left survivors hanging like bats. As expert says, movie star freak accident. So in the blue dress, moon was on Spica on the day of that. So I spoke to you on the 18th last. And the plane crash was on the 17th. Was whenever the moon was on Spica, yeah, and the moon was on Spica, the blue star, Betty Blue. And now we've just had, for this meeting of Macron and Trump, we've had Pluto and the moon conjunct Betty Blue, Black Betty. And the moon is the ruler of Cancer, when Mars is on his way back. And Mercury was conjunct Saturn, moon conjunct Pluto, and Mercury is the ruler of where Mars is. Mars going back to Cancer, which the moon rules, and Venus about to go retrograde in the home of Jupiter in the home of Venus. And Mars is the ruler of Uranus. So can you see how powerful this is? Okay, so we're going through the posts. We're going backwards. So tomorrow, last quarter moon in Scorpio. So that was on the 20th. I did that post, her Yoni spring break, which goes into detail right up until the new moon. You can go and see it. It's in my last video. And then what are my posts from last week? Just getting ridiculous now. So in your face, decapitation next, vertical. Yep, so there was the meeting in Saudi Arabia. Vertical line Nile and horizontal line Nile, Ukraine, and the horizon Putin and the Brian brainstem. That's it. This whole story is about finding the true cross you bear. Standing upright starts with knowing spring is the new year. Vertical, not horizon, and it's now. Fifth, still got a dodgy mouse. Fifth element is the new cross. The fifth humus season element is the plasma ethereal realm. So we're going to have that plasma event. 5 times 72 is 360 from full expansion. 12 times 30 is 360 to contraction. 5 times 72 is the Ishtar, star of Venus. Venus takes 8 years to go round to make your 5-pointed star. Hawaii 5-0. So do I have any interesting pictures in here that is something different from what you know? Because this, remember we had the PB Ponce Brooks, and you know, this is the same as the Sun. It's the Julius Caesar. So we also had, I've covered in old videos about Madison, Splash, The Little Mermaid, Cape Cod, and this Julius Caesar play that decapitates, well, it doesn't decapitate Trump, but he's assassinated in it. And then there's a famous image of a journalist holding, and she's got the red hair, the Elizabeth line, just like this French woman that was raped by 51 men. She's the little Elizabethan woman, the hormonalizer line. So I don't think there's any new pictures here. I'm just showing all the time. The fist. Okay, so that was it. L'Ukraine, la France et l'Europe doivent agir. Do I actually have these meetings going on? Okay. So, oh, this is okay, that's great. I can do that. So that was the 19th of February. 19th of February, United Arab meeting, Saudi Arabia. So we've gone from, in 1 week, Arab leaders, images. So there we go. Arab League. We had US top diplomats. I think these are wrong stories, but we just had, that was Joe Biden. So Arabia, February 2025. Trump. US top diplomats. When was that? 19th of February, right? That's it. Marco Rubio center walks with United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Abu Dhabi. So, you know, that is enormous in this past week since I last spoke to you. So I was trying to tell you just how important this gap is. It's the land of, and it's going to be the new Europe. It's the new Jordan line. It looks like Saudi Arabia, looks like the Yoni. So there's Saudi Arabia, got the Chi Rho line, and we've got in between, there's the Chi Rho line, got the Yoni. Okay, so what else have I got here? We're going to go through the post. I want to get to around now because that was it. Okay, so Zelensky means green, fertility, Venus. It's all about alchemy, but you cannot see. Oh gosh, I say terrible things. Please look at pics. If you mix copper and iron, red and blue in alchemy, you get green. That was, remember, from that alchemy that I saw, and I went, they show you how they mix to get the green lion, So you get green, is a Slavic masculine surname. Its Russian spelling is, so basically, originates from the toponym Zelenin, meaning green, green line. A green-coloured lion swallows the sun. The green lion represents the alchemist's ability to use the faculties that bind him to the world, turning them inwards. A green lion consuming the sun is a common alchemical image and is seen in texts such as the Rosary of the philosophers. So that's your Rosemary's Baby. The green lion consuming the sun is a common alchemical image and is seen in texts such as the Rosary of the philosophers. The symbol is a metaphor for aqua regia, the green lion consuming matter, the sun gold. The green lion devouring the sun is an ancient motive of alchemy. Contrary to the imaginations of many people, alchemists were not failed chemists. Rather, they were explorers of not only the chemical properties and reactions of substances, but also practitioners of a sophisticated psychological art. Its goal was the total transformation of the personality into an agent of divine. Later, C.J. Jung incorporated the methods, archetypes, and symbols of alchemy into his system of analytical psychology. In effect, he viewed alchemy as the yoga of the West. In this piece, I will share my meditation upon this alchemical symbol. The sun is a symbol of the ego, shining and brilliant. It feels entitled that all else should revolve around it. Lo, there comes the green lion to devour it. The green lion, as king of beasts, represents the instincts. In this image, we witness an encounter of the ego with the instinctive primal forces within us. We fear our instincts and know them to be dangerous, so we repress them. Civilization is an enterprise seeking to repress our instincts in exchange for peace and comfort. Much of this process is positive, but it has become inwardly weak, ignoring our inner experiences and separating us from our instincts to a detrimental degree. In our dangerous nature, there lies a power that can propel us forward. So it is only by awakening the green lion, by bringing us to the pinnacle of the apocalypse, which is just a new beginning, unveiling of this instinct within us. Civilization is an enterprise seeking to repress our instincts in exchange for peace and comfort. Much of this process is positive, but it has become inwardly weak, ignoring our inner experiences and separating us from our instincts to a detrimental degree. In our dangerous nature, there lies a power that can propel us forward. The image corresponds to the releasing of primordial essence. That is why the lion is green, which is a primordial, unripe colour. It also connotates fecundity. Eating a sun symbolizes the dominance of the ego by instinctual forces. It is the beginning of a return to a more natural psychological state in which human beings flourish. The ego perceives the encounter as terrifying because all transformational processes appear to be a kind of death to the ego. However, this process is the catalyst for an encounter with the self. The instincts are amoral relative to human society and culture. Social conditioning aims to keep the instincts in check until the higher self is adequately present. Once present, our attitudes and feelings will be conditioned and directed by the self. Otherwise, we experience a regression to the animalistic nature. In the background, there is a new sun emerging from the waters. It is a new personality emerging from the encounter. The old sun, having been killed by the lion, needs a replacement in the form of a new, resurrected sun. So we got Prince William coming for this summer. Water is a feminine symbol and thus associated with the unconscious. So we're going to dive into that now with Venus and Mercury going retrograde on the whale's tail, on the splash. And our egos are but a bobbing cork on its waves. It is the unconscious that creates new patterns and modes of operation for the ego. We see 7 red stars in an arc through the lion's body. So we've had that first arc over Sagittarius, Capricorn for the beginning of the Ukraine war. And now we see it between Pisces and Aquarius. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, fire, earth, and now we've got water. We've got water, Pisces, and air, red. So those 4, the 2 arcs to bring up this 5th element, the plasma events. Further discussion concerning this bit of symbolism is outside the scope of this meditation. So we see 7 red stars. This evokes correspondence to the 7 chakras, which would have been known as the 7 inner metals to the alchemists, or the 7 interior planets to the Kabbalists. Here they align with the instincts initiating the destruction of the current personality and providing the raw material for its rebirth. Further discussion concerning this bit of symbolism is outside the scope of this meditation. So your pH is the 14 and the harmonic procession is the 14, one for all and all for one, and the day of the meeting of Macron and Trump is on the 225, 225. So we're 2025 and on the 25th of the 2nd. That's 9-9. That is, and it's also the 7-7, 25, 27, the 2 angles. Got to get more wood on my fire. 1 second. So, this image is the first stage. Eventually, the green lion must evolve into the red lion, fearsome and matured. The red lion has come into the fullness of power. The instincts now right become a fountain of libido, propelling the personality to new heights and revealing undiscovered realms within. Finally, the lion becomes the golden old lion. At this stage of development, the instincts are fully sublimated in service to the self. So the lion lies down with the lamb. Mary had a little lamb. This is also this passage that we are in of Mary had a little lamb. The lion lies down with the lamb. Mary Magdalene, this is the strength card. This is the 8. The 8 card is the strength card, which is where Mary overcomes her libido. She calms. She finds that inner strength. She uses her sexual energy, Leo, and she overcomes her virgin. She's the sexuality. It's the sexual energy of the virgin rising and then taming the lion, taming her desires, taming her energies, being the master of her lion. So making, this is the same story in Rumpelstiltskin when she has to turn straw into gold and she uses the trump. Oops, that fire, I don't want Punky to get burnt by the fire. She uses Rumpelstiltskin to turn, and then Rumpelstiltskin says, I will take your fertility, your first child, if you don't find my name. And his name is just that bridge, that arc, the bridge, the Ponce Brooks to merge your Ark of the Covenants. So each of us must have such an encounter if we are to individuate. We must access the terrifying primal presence within the wilderness of our psyche. The encounter is a kind of death. It is a confrontation against the truth that the ego is neither the sole occupant of our minds nor ultimately who we are. It is simply the role we currently play. As we navigate into the inner wilderness, the savagery found there is a valid part of us, and once set in service to a higher power, it becomes a fountain of potential and possibility. So think of it as spending, okay, whatever that's about, I put that there. So red and blue and yellow makes green. He's got his khaki green and black. The green man, this is the gap. So this is, you've got the green lion, this is the strength card, the sun and the moon. So this is the passage as the sun and the moon merge, and to get into this Aquarius Pisces gap, it's the strength cards. So there is your red blue shift and the green in the middle, walking away, the PB. There's even the little corgi, vitriol, and this is what your blue and yellow, they make this war khaki green. He's always dressed in war. He's got his Mars. He's always dressed. BP is also showing you that khaki color. It was the Invictus Games, and we had Trudeau and Harry face to face. So the Green Mile, that green lion from Zion eating, and the green man, and we've got Where I Live, the worship to the black sun. I live in the 32nd apartment, and all the villages begin with 322, and we've got the spring lamb and the black sun worship to bring in the green. So here you can see this is the gap. This is exactly where the eclipses are happening now. So we've now got fully Taurus on the summer solstice, but we've still got the winter in. That star is not completely upright yet. The head of the five-pointed star is still in Pisces, and that's why this eclipse is so enormous, because it's marking this gap here, and they're going to merge Libra with Virgo. Venus rules Libra, Mercury rules Virgo, and here it's already accomplished. Venus rules Taurus and Mercury rules Gemini. So this is the sun and the moon, and this is what we've got with Mars. Mars has retrograded back to Gemini, and Mars is on his way back to Cancer, ruled by the moon. So Lars is giving you the dates. 2030, 2026. So the new cross, this Lucifer sigil, this closing is happening right over the great eclipse, the time that Saturn moved between 2020, so the Ukraine war began in 2022, and the great American eclipses was between 2017 and 2024. And there we've got this line between England and New York. You'll be able to go from London, and they're going to make you drive all the way through Alaska, the Chi Rho. So now Trump is with Putin, of course. The neck is working with the horizon, when the neck should work with the Ukraine, with the heads. We should be going to the fifth element, but they're making this capstone, this triangle between Putin and the Adam's apple, which is not the true capstone. I've shown you that many times. I showed the two breasts. Adam's apple is not the true. So true breasts, Putin, whore, eyes on Trump, the brainstem, the gnome, when the brainstem should go up to the third eye. So they're awakening the wrong triangle capstone. It's all premature. Again, that umbrella, the wheel should now go from 12 times 30 to 360 to 5 times 72, but we're being closed in between that full expansion into the Lucifer sigil as Venus rises. We know Marianne Faithfull, who married Mick Jagger, Venus, Mercury and Jupiter. She died the day of the aeroplane and helicopter collision over Washington, D.C. 14 pieces of Osiris. Gather ye up the 14 pieces of Osiris, and there we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planet lineup. I mean, it's so enormous what is happening. This is really about the split of those who have made that third eye and those that haven't. We're in this gap now, and they've got the last Bridget Jones just out, and we're in this gap. So if Paris, Texas, they show us the green from red, blue, pink, pink into the green line. That's what that was all about. PB. This is the 13th sign, your cursor. Your green man, the united colours of Benetton, and this is exactly what is happening right now. Red Bull, and there is Macron. It's your Scooby-Doo. And here we have Venus coming in. Gucci. Gucci is 7. It's a Gucci ad, this. And there you've got exactly like in Sun. It's about his birthday coming up on the 216. This is the new salt, sulfur, the black sun, sulfur, the salt, the cell, and the children, Mercury, and the new CAIROLINE. Alberta Flack is born in Cairo. He's showing you the fist, which is the brain stem, and the Adam's apple, the Rumpelstiltskin. He's showing you the Rumpelstiltskin, the Rumpelstiltskin, the angry man. This is how you control the amygdala. It is about how you control your emotions. So we've got Taurus and Gemini, the green man, Pan, this is the gap, and William Tell. They take off the apple, and you leave you just your Adam's apple in the throat. So the Emerald City, he's already, the homelessness as Mars is now on its way back to Cancer, as the Homeless Act was passed in 1977, the last time that Mars did that retrograde between Gemini and Cancer, 77 again. And we just had those talks, the 25-25. There's Saint-Martin-de-Tours, these talks between old MacDonald and Trump. So the stag, the new cross is happening in Taurus, but we've still got the shepherd, we've still got the man and his dog, Gemini. It's in this gap. The Adam's apple, Pomme d'Api, 5-pointed star, the lion from Zion, and that's the green lion. It's the green lion, the red and the green, the Moroccan flag is the red and the green and the 5-pointed star. In Lord of the Rings, and there's Jacques de Compostelle taking the place between the Ark, Rumpelstiltskin, and there is Jupiter, the Joker, and Saturn, the box. And Jacques de Cousteau, the fisherman, and Charles, the Chi Rho, the Charles Rex, Trump, America, and Russia. The CR, Little Jack Horner, Saturn a corner. Tristan is just Mark opposite Matthew, the fixed stars. And we have John and Luke, John Scorpio and Luke Taurus. 19, and there she is holding the head, the Elizabeth line, the red hair. And that is what we saw. We saw Camilla, Kamala and Harris and the Little Mermaid. And that is exactly what is about to happen. Venus is doing her retrogrades with Mercury. Mercury and Venus will move forward together. I mean, wow. That's Sun, Appy, the Bull God, and that's that. So then, on the 20th of February, we have a huge scandal in France. Beth is Bess, Eliza Macbeth is Maleficent, the gatekeeper of fertility, the sexual organs, or your head. It's Rumpelstiltskin, your inner beast, your own reflection in the mirror. Beth, Ram, RR, Romulus Remus, born of the she-wolf. Louvre, obviously, Pluto in Capricorn, and Uranus in the Ram. Aries, I'll explain in depth later. Peau de Dan, ADN, DNA, Pic de Midi, five-pointed star, North Polaris, Rose line, Eliza Beth line, hormonal lies on Notre Dame de Beth, High Priestess, and Ramaran. Her goat is a ram. Baphomet is not. Baphomet is not a goat, but a ram. So, in Beth Aram, as Uranus is in Aries, the ram, and Beth from Yellowstone Park is born. A pedophile scandal in Pau, the new mayor of France, so who's 73 years old, François Bayrou, who replaced Michel Barnier, the Barn, who was also 73 years old. 73 is your 3737L passage, so he's going to lose his place as well. They would just put there those two people to mark the 7373. The Yoni 3773 is the Yoni passage, and we've got this scandal at Pau. So there's Beth, and this is the goat. This is the name of a goat. This is the name of a goat. Aram is a goat, and it's this very goat of Esmeralda of Notre Dame that I've been telling you about. There it is. So there's Bet. Don't mess with Bet. This is found in 1837. And guess when Roberta Flack is born? In 1937. They've got to keep that 37 in there. It's 9 and 37. So the Elizabeth line is no longer Bethlehem, but it's Betharam. Bethlehem, Betharam. So the High Priestess, Notre Dame de Betharam. So it's a big sexual scandal going on. This is, again, it is. So this is the picture. This is the Pic de Midi. And they're showing everywhere the 7 planets. There's the lamppost. They show you the lamppost. It's the third eye. And they're making the Pyrenees. And you've got, and my village is the 5-pointed star. And what do we have going on? We've got every single day my little restaurant full of pompiers, of firemen. So they're doing some kind of tests. Lord of the Rings, the goat, they've got little Mercury conjunct Saturn. So all that happened, couldn't believe it. Aran is a wild goat, and this is the Beth Aran. Peau d'Ane is the famous film with Catherine Deneuve dressed in donkey skin, and Maleficent, same thing. This is the passage that we have to get through, which is all about this green lion. The green lion is just a play on the green line. The green line is the green lion. So there's your 3773. It's the Vesica Pisces passage. We saw Kate was dressed in the black and white with the tilt on her hat as well. They're showing you Kate showed you she went to the horse races wearing the same last year, showing you the new axis northeast, which is what this whole D'Artagnan voting is about, showing you the new axis. So we've got Elizabeth Taylor and the Grand National. There they are under the horse, showing you Romulus and Remus, the two twins. And this is what the SAPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, where we see Trump today, is gold missing at Fort Knox. This is Castor and Pollux on the AC Ascendant. That's all that it means. So there's Pollux and Castor under Jupiter now. Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter the horse, Mary Queen of Scots, George is the throat, showing you the new Elizabeth, the new revolution coming up, the Tudor Rose. Oh my God, that's the other thing I'm going to have to show you. You won't believe this. So Stepford Wives, you see them all in their big hats, which are the Mormons, which is what's going on, the Orthod'OX, the Noahide Law, Elizabeth Truss, this is Elizabeth Truss, this is Elizabeth Bourne, Elizabeth Truss in England, the new Jacob's Ladder, and the West and the East. So they're showing you the vertical and the horizon, the new cross, and that is the constellation of Cancer. And you've got Paddington Bear right there, and Liverpool Street. So Eliza Macbeth line. This is Elizabeth Taylor, cat on a hot tin roof. The ginger cat, Chat GT, GPT. So, and there is the female reproductive system, which is the ram, is not the goat. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars rules the head. Mars also rules Scorpio in the sexual organs. Virgin Mary and Babylon the Great, two of the same. Chastity and sexual liberty. The Mother of Sorrows, the Sacred Whore. So this is Bab is, and that is in either in your skull or it's in your pelvis. So Mars and Venus, that war began in the Ukraine as Mars and Venus were conjunct Pluto in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. And now Jupiter is in the home of Venus, Venus is in the home of Jupiter. So the devil and the devil's bride, so we've got Jupiter and Venus, the dark side of Jupiter and Venus. So this is just alchemy. It's all alchemy. JB Pillars, Bridget Jones, Saturn and Jupiter, Mercury in the Sun, and Mars. As above, so below. You can read that. So we're right there. This is what's going on. We're right there. So then there was a post on about CERN. So I knew what future of CERN, and it's 70 years old. So it's 70 years old. Again, the 7, the split. So I'm saying 101 passage, 7L, LOL, Eliza Macbeth line on French radio culture now. Basically the split of the two worlds. Those that know and those that never will make it out of the material matter. What future has CERN for us at 70 years? And then when was it that I saw something really important to show you? Oh yeah, here we go. This just incredible. So wow, we just had the same dates as we've got going on for this D'Artagnan. The same date from the 17th to the 20th. We have green alert, green lines, surfing competition going on in Portugal. So Portugal is again opposite Washington DC on the Atlantic, and the longitude latitude is 369. So the coordinates are 39.6 and -9 longitude latitude. So let's just see that again. NASA, Portugal, longitude, latitudes, 39 north and 9 west. So there's your 396. So this is it. So wow. Silver Coast, it's the Silver Coast, as we've got Mars and Jupiter on each side of the Silver Gates. It's the Silver Gates. Milky Way, the stag kills Bambi's mother, Diana, the moon goddess, the anima animus inverted, Saint Martin de Tours kills Saint Saturnin, Christ. So Mars, Jupiter kills his father Saturn. So Mars and Jupiter, the Joker, Jack the Ripper, takes the green. So same time we've got in the news that Jack the Ripper's DNA has been found. And this Jack the Ripper was in the time of the last time that Neptune was in Pisces, as Neptune is now. Takes the green line, G77L3773, spot, this is the green man pan, it's sex magic, moon, silver, Mercury, quicksilver, waves, moon goddess, moon, Tudor, Rose, L, Isa, Macbeth line. They even show you the Tudor. It's called the Tudor Nazar. Quicksilver, waves, moon goddess, moon, Tudor, Rose, L, Isa, Macbeth line, take a fertility, the green line, Jack de Compostelle, Jack and the Mr. Beanstalk, jolly green giant. So look at that. We've got Red Bull. We've got the Tudor Nazar Big Wave Challenge, and wait till you see it. There's your lion. This is the whole alchemy, the Elizabeth line. We have that stag that stands there with his surfboard. So we've got Jupiter taking Venus. Venus is about to do her wave. She's about to do her wave, and Venus rules Taurus, where Jupiter is on the rose. This is all about Rose and Jack. So there he's got his cape, the 369. This is the Tesla. There is your green, your red. And we wait till you see it. Wait till you see this sex magic. 24 hours, or 24 years since 2001. And there's your Tesla 369. The Green Deal funding alerts. Nazar Port is a seaside resort. So Nazar, beautiful beach located in the Oz region, the province of Estremadura. This is Esmeralda, Estra, and the name Nazareth. So Nazare comes from Nazareth, which is the childhood home of Jesus in the New Testament. It is a very popular place for those looking for a holiday on the Silver Coast. So here we've got Jupiter and Mars on each side of the Silver Gate, and we've got this sex wave surf competition at the 369. The line broke, the monkey got choked, the moon key got choked, and they all went to heaven in a little rowing boat. So they didn't make it into heaven with their wings. So look at this green, yellow, red. This is the canyon that makes those waves into this sexual. So this is from Washington DC. We just had the explosion on the Atlantic Ocean between this, and now we have this green waves, green line, sex magic for the biggest wave ever ridden. So that is just talking about So can you see that? And there I'm trying to say to people, and I can't just believe all the things I see. And I try to show everybody. Okay, let's move on. We're not doing so badly. Breast of Venus. Sun tells the time, moon tells the day, and the stars tell the month. Okay, so another big thing, be aware. This is me saying, be aware the Big Bang is coming, and I say on the 25th. It's about you opening your heart to third eye to help those still asleep. Between now the 20th, the last quarter moon yesterday in Scorpio, and the new moon the 28th of February in Aquarius, warning period. Mercury, ruler of Gemini Virgo, moving through the Vesica Pisces between Aquarius and Pisces, where Saturn, ruler of Aquarius Capricorn, is. Mars goes stationary, then direct, 23rd of Feb. Mars rules Aries, where Uranus is still on Algol rhythms. Medusa between Is Taurus, Ra Aries on L3773, L7, and Mars rules Scorpio, where last quarter moon was yesterday. All 7 planets line up on the sky between 2028. 6 planets are visible in the night sky right now. On February the 28th, Mercury will add a 7th planet to the planetary parade. Venus, Mars, Jupiter are great naked eye targets for beginner stargazers. The 25th of Feb, big date, Moon conjunct Pluto in Capricorn and Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. What do we have? Macron and, everybody woke up on that day, on the 25th. That is literally the Big Bang. Everyone's got it. Mercury then moves into Pisces on the 27th, well actually right now, tonight, and Jupiter, ruler of Pisces, still on Bullseye, Aldebaran, Taurus, and Mars on Sirius, as for the Carolina CAIROLine Nile floods. Mercury joins Venus in Pisces, and Venus rules Taurus, where Jupiter sits, mutual reception. Mercury rules Gemini, where Mars sits, and Mercury rules Virgo, where South Node Keto is. Both Mercury, Venus go retrograde in early March, before the full blood moon lunar eclipse the 14th of March. This is huge, as Mercury, Jupiter have to make Saturn the baddie. Saturn ends from COVID 2020 to now in his own home. Saturn entered Capricorn the day we had clamped down, COVID March 2020, so they had to make life miserable in his time. Now Jupiter, Mercury, Mars will make a final blow, Big Bang, before becoming heroes and taking over Venus, Black Friday, Vendredi, Lilith. So I'm showing you the new moon that we've seen. And then this comes out, Thunderbird special episodes to get first. Physical release for 60th anniversary. Warrior Goddess Venus, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, did you ever see that? Red and green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it's all just showing you this alchemical event that is about to happen, bringing people into the moment. So what am I showing? Yeah, I'm showing you 221. What on earth am I showing you here? Oh, that was the date. That was what I was showing you what was happening. Yeah, okay. So that was the last quarter moon. Moon opposite Uranus, moon opposite Jupiter, moon in Scorpio, Scorpio ruled by Mars, Mars in Gemini, and Uranus in Aries ruled by Mars. We've got this triple square going on here. So I was talking about this big date, and that is what happened. I didn't know that Trump. So I'm just showing you again. I've done this video. The Thunderbolt, Venus is her name, Ishtar. And this is where we're at. The 7 planets, Thunderbolts. Don't be too serious, Cirrus. Thunderbolts project. This is what I tell you. They wear the Elizabethan. That is the Cancer constellation, and that is your plasma event, your stick man. Here we go, Marianne Faithful, and that is what we saw for the Black Hawk. The hawk is not the eagle. The hawk is not the eagle. And Scorpio is the eagle. Scorpio rises as the eagle. Okay. These are procession caterpillars. So they are absolutely lethal, and they're all around where I live. If a dog eats one, they can die from suffocation and their tongue. And I stroked them 5 years ago as my ex-partner took photographs knowing full well. And now whenever I'm near pines, my whole body, I went through a terrible, I was itching on videos. I get affected just by being under the pines now from my experience where I nearly choked. Luckily, my homeopath is coming to chat to us on Patreon. She saved my life. Okay, so, right, so, yeah, that is, we're coming to the end. So there we've got the James Webb Space Telescope has captured a breathtaking image of a baby star being born in Taurus. So a star is born. We have got, so this is me talking about village, the Lupiac being voted, which I've showed you. I spoke to you about that. Okay, so me just talking more about that. What have they got? March the 14th, the blood moon eclipse. March the 23rd, Saturn's rings disappear. March the 29th, partial solar eclipse. Okay, they're taking us. And then we're going to have the famous, wow, on April the 25th. April the 25th. As these guys end, so when moon is conjunct to Saturn, all on the whale's tail, that is going to be a huge day. That is Odyssey 2001. Mercury there, and the sun is then in Aries, and Uranus is now in Taurus. That is going to be a big date. Okay, so Babylon, 22nd, Babylon. So Babylon is Biarritz, Paybas, Bab, Biarritz, Anglet, and Bayonne, and it's known as Bab. So then we've got at the Louvre, when fashion invites itself to the Louvre. So we've now got Venus at the Louvre. The Louvre is the female wolf. So that is of January the 24th to July the 21st, from J to J, Janus. We have got Venus fashion coming to the Louvre. So then we've got the 7-planet lineup, makes me feel 7 Noahide Law, Orthodox, Russian Christianity, and Islam is close to be the new Venus peace plan and the new 7 laws, one world religion. As the Chi Rho is completed, Chirons Last to come. So the Chi Rho, CR, Canada, Russia, and Mars, Jupiter on each side of the Silver MilkyWay Gate CairOLine, Nile. Prince William's birthday, 216, Sun, Jupiter combust on the Wand of Merlin, Gemini Mercury on Pollux, Lord of the Rings. So that really is the most outrageous dates, because we've got the Sun and Jupiter on the Wand of Merlin. We've got Mercury on Pollux and Sirius, Lord of the Rings. We've got Mars on the Lion. On the Lion. This is the king. This is the Lion King. The Lion King. on Prince William's birthday. Venus in Aries, and we're going to have that slither of the moon, which will probably be moving from Pisces into the home of Jupiter, Mars. Yeah, we're going to have the moon move on his birthday. On his birthday from Pisces. Okay, is it going to make that move? Yes. From Pisces to Aries, Jupiter, Mars. Wowee. Wow, well, we'll get to that more. The Green Lion Sun, and wow. Old Mac Ron Donald had a farm, and then what happens on the 25th? I didn't know this. This was 2 days before. So this is what I mean. I use so much energy. I'm going to really spend the next year trying to get how I make content creation really step up, because I'm use so much energy to explain stuff, and every single time I know exactly what's happening, and I have the same power when I do your readings. So there's no reason that I should not be able to afford to go and see my grandchildren. I'm going to change, I'm going to manifest. But, you know, I know, and I'm telling you, and I know I have to make things more funky how I work, so that you are able to follow me and you can understand, and I will find a way through in 2025. So I'm saying it. Old Matt Ronald Donald had a farm. RR Romulus Remus Ronald Reagan signed in, and we are at the time of the she-wolf, Inanna, Louvre, Venus and her twins Mercury, Hermes, Aphrodite. So that's what we've got. We've got Venus and Mercury, the twins, doing a dance over in the home of Jupiter, Mercury and Venus, as Jupiter is on the rose line, the Hermaphrodite. So these pictures, February the 28th coming up, I'm going to have all those planets, the 7, happy birthday, the 21st, the 7 Noahide Laws, Martin de Tours, I'm showing all that again, and the King, the Lion King, Mars, right, and they've just had a new planet born in Taurus, Merlion. Merlin is the Merlion. The Merlion. We're going to have the sun, and this guy was in the newspapers with his, he has been in all the papers, and there he is standing between the four corners. This is the gap. There's Venus. We're going to have that. We just saw, we're going to have the smiley face moon in April. We're absolutely going to have this. It's all happening between now and the summer solstice. Incredible. There it is. That was the comet we had. This is Sex and the Secret Nerve, a hermetic principle that states, as above, so below. So if there's a zodiac above with 12 constellations, likewise, there must be a human zodiac below. And there is, our 12 pairs of cranial nerves. However, there's another nerve called the zero nerve, or nervus terminalis. Although less talked about, it could hold the key to discovering our divinity. This zero nerve is responsible for smell and pheromones. It's been dubbed sex and the secret nerve. Now, if we compare this nerve to the 13th sign, Serpentarius, Ophiuchus, serpent bearer, the serpent slayer takes on a whole new realm. And we're in the year of the serpents. So this is this funny guy who's popped up. There's Inanna holding the snakes, as I had that dream holding the 2 snakes, and that day I saw the owl. I saw the 3 owls and 2 tits on the 1-1, which is the same as we just, when the moon and Pluto were conjunct. This is a lovely post from an alchemical friend here. So he posted that. I added that little bit. This is what we're living now. All the planets currently between Aquarius, Pisces, Spring, North Node in Pisces, and will enter Leo end of spring. The passage, Passover, Ascendant opposite South Node on the descendant, moving between Virgo into Leo. Strength card. When Virgo, Mercury, mutable Earth, and Leo, Sun, Fire find each other as Virgo rises above the descendant and Leo becomes the new DC, the new DC is born at Babylon in Basque Country, France, opposite Washington, D.C. Bob Marley, BM, Black Madonna, Horizon, Nile line. Babylon finds the strength to temper her sexual energy and to find the midway point between Mary Had a Little Lamb, the lion lies down with the lamb. Thalamus is Aquarius, opposite Leo. The lion, Elon, Noel, Lone Star, Ranger. And I'm going to open that so you can read what Paul wrote. The simplicity of faith. So read that. You can stop to read it. And there again. And then what do we have? The CPAC is going on right now. Castor, Pollux. I wrote in what I was writing, in this, I wrote in here about Italy, Mussolini. So this is a very long. Mercury, rule of Gemini, where Mars, bang, the Popeye to open your third eye. So it was a very long post. You know, these posts take me. So this is a very long, but I said, and then what do we have? We have Italy. Okay, I do have to buy a new. So exactly as that was going on, I wrote Osiris. Well, you can go and have a look in my article yourself. But I remember writing Italy, explaining Mars is in Gemini. Gemini, the hands. It's Italian. And we've got the day of that was that was on the 24th. That was on the 24th, and we have the Italian PM. So you read that. And then we're nearly at the end. There's one more important post. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the post I did yesterday. I couldn't believe it. So yesterday, 20 hours ago, I see that we've got Trump and Macron. So Orthod'OX, everything I'd been saying, Noahide Law, old Matt Ron Donald had a farm, Ronald Reagan. So guess what I just saw? This is what I just saw. Not Robert Oppenheimer. The creation of this of the CPAC. So it was created by Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan gave the inaugural keynote speech at CPAC in 1974. That's the year of the tiger. And yes, it is. It's the year of the tiger, the eye of the tiger. A shining city upon a hill. The conference was founded. So that is this connection. I keep saying this is what the Ronald McDonald. We've got JW, that's just Jupiter and Mercury. W is the M. So this Pollux Pass, this is just incredible. So Ronald Reagan, RR, Romulus Remus, this is before I know, and this is before I know about the CP, because I saw that again, well, I saw it with the Italian woman, but then again, just before I came on here. So, Big Bang, I spoke about, happened today, 25th, as I said. No, in fact, to be and frank. So he said, no, in fact, to be frank. So that's your FF. We paid. So that's your FF66, and it happened on the 9-9. So the 9-9, the 2025 is 9, and the 25th of February is 9. That's your 9-9. Dial 9-9. We're there. We provided real money to Mr. Trump, smiling, made a skeptical face and waved his hand as if to say that he did not buy it. So here we go. This is what happened on the 25. That M, and he's showing you that upside down M as well. This is it. And they're wearing, and Stepford wives, they're wearing their hats. There's Trump. He is the connection between Ronald and Macron. Ronald McDonald had a farm, and there they are, wearing their Stepford wife hats. This is the Russian Orthodox. This is the new religion, the Noahide Law. Ronald Reagan signed in 1991, which is 1-1. August the 25th, 1991. Let's have a look at 1991. So Saturn was in Capricorn, as it was for Clampdown. August the 25th, we've got everybody on the Lion. Jupiter, Venus, Mercury looks like he's retrograde, and the Sun. And the Moon was on Fomalhaut, and Saturn was exactly where it was for the beginning of COVID. So now Saturn has moved. So Saturn was in the Eye of the Tiger. This is the Eye of the Tiger here under Altair, Lupiac. This is the Golden Triangle, Lupercalius. Wow. So that's why his wife, Trump's wife, Melanie, whatever, was wearing her hats like this. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So all the old oligarchy, the old white men. This is, what's that place called? Bohemian Grove, Bohemian Rhapsody. And there is Anna Frank. So that was the huge thing that happened yesterday. Writing up. Oops. That was me in an old short, which I was saying exactly that. And we're at that point where we can either meet God, and there's Emmanuel Macron. That's him in Hal. And there is the passage that I'm telling you about. That is your, I mean, it's not the same person, but it's absolute look-alike. And there they are, and the passage. Incredible. So what happened at BAP yesterday? We have the rainbow. A big rainbow at Biarritz. The last time that Princess Diana was seen was at the Ritz. And this is the B at the Ritz. The B is the 13. And look at that enormous, incredible rainbow. So they have to change the weather to make this. And ending the 3 years, the 3 degrees, the 216, the sun moves 3 degrees in 216 years. And what else have I done since that today? And then this morning I'm just showing that that's Castor, Pollux, twins on the Ascendant, AC, that's it. They tell you, they show you. It's always been the war for the new summer solstice, taking from the spring lamb. Aquarius, Saturn, 16-2, Castor, Pollux, not 12, 6, 1, 2, 6. Let's get that right. Whilst I'm with you. Oh. I always find faults when I'm talking with you. Okay, so that's it, darlings. That is me beaming in for YouTube, and I have got an offer still going on. If you want to give a reading to anybody, to somebody who's never had a reading with me before, the code is newbie. I sent it out in my newsletter. Yesterday or the day before. I mean, I made this at the time of Valentine's Day. Where is it? Where is that post? I did it yesterday, was it? There. So there are still 2 offers until the end of February. Use the code newbie only for newcomers. So if you want to offer, and there's still a relationship reading at 12% off, and the code is One Love. So capital O, capital L, One Love, without the commas. And newbie is capital NEWBIE. Okay, my darlings, I love you very much. Thank you for being so patient with me, and I'll see you soon. And come and join us on Patreon. That would make me really happy, and I'm making improvements. We're doing a first live, cross fingers, on Friday at 7 p.m. Bye for now.